You should see us all pop back online, sending data. Boom, boom. Okay, Foxhole's up, D-Live's up, YouTube's up, Twitch is up, or if it's going to be at Twitch is always the longest or something.
Yep,
whatever.
I see D Live.
Yeah, it's the content. I mean, again, I'm not a paranoid person. I try to stay away from that kind of crap. But I'm not going to lie and say that the last couple of weeks does not seem like me personally. Like, I mean, I've had the cops sent to my house twice in the last month because somebody has prank called my local police and told them that some guy is beating my ass. One time inside my house, one time in front of my yard, and I don't live with him. I live with an 8-pound Shih Tzu. So unless he woke up last week and developed fists and I don't know, put on 200 pounds, I don't see how my Shih Tzu is going to whoop my ass. But yeah, they've called the law and had him sent out twice in a month.
Okay, we're live.
Oh, well, okay. You got to know that story. That's just stuff I don't talk about. Well, I mean, like, I really don't. But yeah, they have. You heard, my local police are coming to my house twice in the last month. And they're called out here and told that they're getting reports that some guy's beating my butt. I don't live with the man. Okay. I live with the 8-pound dog. So, this last time they came, they asked me, they said, have you made anybody mad? And do you know anybody could be targeting you? I said, well, I'm a Trump supporter and I run a YouTube channel,
Right.
Is that enough? I mean, I got 2 years ago, a girl on Twitter that lives in New York threatened to come beat me up. And that's just the truth. Yeah, told me where I lived. It was great, But I mean, what are y'all going to do to stop that kind of stuff? It just comes with the territory.
Right.
It comes with doing this stuff. But again, I'm very cautious about what I talk about. Or if I try not to, again, make people, I'm not trying to make people feel bad for me. I know what I'm doing. I know the risks I'm taking, and so I do what I got to do. And then every once in a while, I'll make sure, you should see what's hanging on my front door is my target from target practice. And every once in a while I'll go, come see me if you want to. Come on down. I live in the South. You know what I mean? So, that's my, well, come on in, buddy. But, it is what it is. But it is what it is. I'm not the only person that deals with it.
Right.
It is what it is. But
I just figured, it happened on YouTube first is where I saw it. And I thought, well, maybe YouTube's targeting because, it was the symposium.
Well, I'll tell you what I told Sonny. Maybe were we on air when I said this? I went to the doctor Monday. I came in from the doctor. When I got in, somebody had tried to connect through my TeamViewer on my production laptop, my streaming laptop, which is the one giving me all the problems. That's a little concerning. When somebody's trying to get into your freaking PC through TeamViewer while you're gone. First of all, how the hell they know I'm gone? Maybe they didn't. Maybe it's just a coincidence. But it's a little weird, when you have somebody trying to log in through your TeamViewer. So
right.
I'm just, listen, guys, I'm kind of used to this shit. I've been doing this now for almost 4 years. I know most of you have seen me on this channel, and some of you know what I do behind the scenes over on the PSB side. I've been doing for over 3 years. It just comes with the territory. But you know what I do? I flip up my middle freaking finger, and I go over to that bitch, and I reboot the whole freaking system, and then I just shove us back on air. I'm sorry it's annoying. I'm sure it annoys you guys. But trust me, it annoys me as well. But again, what are y'all going to do? You know what I mean? What am I going to ask y'all to do? Nothing. So it is what it is. Again, I implore anyone that wants to come mess with me or my little dog. He's not a man. He's a little dog. Come on down. I live in Middle Tennessee. I welcome you. Southern people are very hospitable. I'm not freaking concerned about it. You know what I mean? I am not concerned. And I know my neighbors very well. Okay. For instance, my stepbrother pulls into the driveway. This happened several months back. And my neighbor did not know who my stepbrother was. And my dad was gone. My dad lives about 50 feet in front of me. Okay. And my mother died of cancer. He was getting sicker. I was in Mississippi at the time. I moved from Detroit and then down to Mississippi. And then my mom died. So my dad started losing a lot of weight. And I watched my grandfather die shortly after my grandmother. So it concerned me. So I came home. But anyway, my neighbor kind of knew my mother really well, knows my dad. So my stepbrother pulls in the driveway. My dad's gone. And I shit you not, I look out my kitchen window and my freaking neighbor is out with his cell phone, flicked on the damn camera, walking across the yard. Can I help you? Mr. About said her last name. Mr. Blah blah isn't here. Can I help you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's the kind of neighbors you want. You know what I mean?
Yep, looking out for you.
Yeah, it is what it is. It comes with the territory.
Do you kind of know your police officers a little bit?
Oh, yeah. I used to work for the comm center. I was a 911 dispatcher. Blah, blah, blah. Unit. See, I'm about to say, if I say that stuff, it's say my county. Oh, yeah. My cousin works at 911 center. I have another cousin that's a patrol officer and another cousin that's a detective. They all know.
Were the numbers like all untraceable or just like throwaway phones? I suppose people do that kind of crap.
Or something weird that happened through this same month. I think this could be different situations, but so the cops came that first time about a month ago. And then last week or the week before? I look on my phone. I get these weird messages. I could show you, but I don't want to dox from two separate numbers. And hang on, let me start. Okay, 423 is the area code. And I'm not shitting you. This is the message I get. Okay, I'm reading this straight off my phone. And I would share it, but they're weird about doxing, and even if these people are jerks. So the first message I get is literally, I swear to God, first message. Here, can I do this? Let me try to screen grab it, share it. I think if I snip it, I think I already sent these. I sent them to Breaking. People wouldn't believe the shit I put up with. Like, he's probably the one person that has seen the evidence of the crap that goes on behind the scenes, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on? So let me try to use my snipping tool. And this
weird that it's happened, this many, starting to happen more in a cluster of things happening.
Well, I mean, if I'm honest, like I said, that lady in New York did that crap to me 2 years ago. So let me try to here. Okay, now I'll show you. Now I'm not going to show you all of them. This is just the first initial one. Okay. I'm not, y'all know I'm not making this shit up. And this is annoying, tell me, and I'll get back to whatever. Y'all might not want to hear this shit. But here's the first initial message. See, I tried my best to block it out. This came on July the 19th. First one. Now, there's nothing up above here. From some random number. I didn't send any bad emails to Michelle. Yes, it looks like I did, but it didn't come from me. I have someone trying to fuck my entire life up, and it looks like it has been going on for some time. I didn't do anything like that. She isn't the only one that's received things that looks like I did it. If she will talk to me, she would understand that there is no way that I could have done that. Okay. Well, that's the first message I get. I'm like, what the hell?
And you have a friend, Michelle, don't you?
No.
I thought that gal from Minnesota that did child protection, isn't she named Michelle?
No. Yeah, but she's from Minnesota. She's the CEO of Child Protection League. Trust me, this don't have nothing to do with her.
Okay.
Michelle's happy with the kids.
Okay.
This is somebody looking, as I'll get on, you'll understand. So I said, who is this and who is Michelle? It says, is this Sherry? Okay, everybody knows my first name's Laura. All right. And yes, Laura. Everybody pronounces it wrong. It's Laura. So is this Sherry? Then it says, next message is, let's see, she used to be married to, and they say a name. First name's David. I'm not going to say the last name. I know you know who that is. I know you still talk to her. I need to know how to get in touch with her. This number used to be hers. It's very important that I talk to her. It's funny how 3 out of the 4 people say, who is Michelle? Only one really didn't know her. We ran the phone numbers and who they go to. We already know that you know who she is. So did Alicia. I'm not real sure what kind of bullshit is going on, but I know that I'm being railroaded to make me look extremely bad to her, and I haven't done anything to anyone. Whoever is doing this to me has really destroyed my future. It's important I talk to her. My response. No, this isn't Sherry. You have the wrong number. And I've had this number for over 20 years, which I have. This is my first cell phone I've ever got, my first number I ever got when I was, I think, 18 or 19. I'm 45. Their response, for 20 years, that's a long time. You know what I mean?
Conversation.
Then that was all on the 19th. So then on the 24th, I get another random message from another 423 area code that I don't know. First off, right off the rip, first message. Michelle, I'm not sure what you are trying to accomplish with doing all this to me, but today started the backlash on everyone that is involved. Only thing I'm guilty of is getting back at everyone for fucking up my life. After that, I will see my son. Then, well, I think everyone can figure out what a man does when he is at the end of his ropes, trying to prove his innocence. I was like, in all caps, I am not Michelle. The fact you literally start off threatening people and it's the wrong number, get help. And then he says, this message was sent out to several people at once. Okay, that's fucking disturbing. Not really saying anyone is, just trying to get the message across. This number was listed at one used by her. So if you know, then it says another name, give her the message, please. And I'm sure this is the person's name. But I'm not threatening anyone. But to clear up this message, and this is where it gets like, you're not dealing with some same person here, okay? Run, fucking Michelle, if you're listening. I don't know who you are, but run. Okay. I have a few questions to ask Michelle. Then after I see my son, that's when I'm going to KILL myself. My life has been completely destroyed by someone telling lies about me that has completely ruined my 30-year career and my retirement. I have nothing to live for. Pretty simple. Now, hopefully you don't get that confused with someone threatening you. Oh, yeah, well, no, that's what it was. Because the last message is when he's threatening, off himself. That happened to me, like, a couple weeks ago. So could that be linked to it? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. That's so weird.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Weird shit like that happens all the time, though. Yeah, I don't either. Like that. When I first read, is this Michelle? I thought, well, maybe if I just said I'm not Michelle, usually people are like, oh my God, you know how it is. I'm from the South, y'all. I'll have full blown damn conversations with people that text me the wrong number. Like, hey, Tammy, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I'm not Tammy. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I was just looking for. I'm like, all right, let me find out for you. I mean, I'm not kidding. I do that shit. I'll do that. I'll be nice to you. But this
don't answer any messages I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody messages me and they're like, oh my God, my bad. I'm like, oh, it's all good. I actually know that number. Here it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't mind being nice to folks. But you get your crazies,
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, does that have anything to do with what's going on my PC? Probably not. Does that have anything to go on with the cops being prank called to my house? Maybe. Because this person seems so damn sure that I'm somebody named Michelle. And I'm going to, again, shout out Michelle out there, fucking run. Whoever that Looney Tune is, run, bitch. Get in your car and drive to Hades. Whatever you got to do, get away from that crazy person.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, then he says part of the message, we have ran the numbers. So he's got a posse of crazy people. You know what I mean? He's built him up a cult of crazies. He's got Suckleback on his team. I'm sure of it.
Oh my
God!
gosh.
Was somebody, I won't say any names. There was somebody about, I don't know, the shit runs together, about 7 months ago on the PSB side of things that I had contacted a couple people. I'm going to try and be as nonchalant as I can, okay? Because I don't want to put anybody on blast, but so I'll talk in I don't know, saline type ways.
Okay, anonymously.
Yeah. So there was a person that contacted a couple people and they kind of alerted me to like, what the hell? So I reached out, I was like, hey, I heard you're asking some questions about some of the hosts. Can I help you? Because I'm pretty protective of the host.
Yeah.
I've almost said your name. I'm used to calling her Clarabelle, but Sonny will tell you that I am. Like, I've got lists, most of their phone numbers, stuff like that. I don't give that shit out, and I don't want anybody else to either. Because I've seen what I've been subjected to. I don't want them to be. So I reached out and I was like, oh yeah, then told me about, because this could very well be this person, told me this entire conspiracy that they think some of our hosts are black hats, some of the people that used to be in the Discord server were black hats, and he sent me a link where they had fucking made a damn Excel spreadsheet of anon names where they tried to figure out their real name, like their email. They had color coded a chart for threat levels. I'm like, what the hell? Then started going on and telling me that there's a server that has contempt against them, and they're trying. So this very well, again, think about what I'm saying, or it could be this person. And come up with this entire story. It was nuts. Okay, nuts. And I'm just like, wow, what's your evidence? Well, I don't really have any. Okay, perfect. Sound same. But I had the same thing happen 2 years ago. Another one of the people trying to get in that was like, I told this big elaborate story about being tracked by some German spy that was out. I mean, listen, it happens. Now, there's validity to some people's threats. I've had them happen to me. But then you got these other people that are not all mentally fucking there and looking for attention and like want attention. And they try to find groups of people that will give it to them, and they'll make up whatever they need to make up to get it.
Right. Ugh. Wow.
So I used to run this test on my old OG host over there. I've done it to Mo. I think I've done it to Crystal. Where it was, I might have done it to you. I don't know, Claire, but I might have. But I did it as like an example of how easy it is to lie to people in this.
Yes.
Did I do this to you? Okay,
so you sound pretty convincing.
Yeah,
because you're so confident.
Well, because I think it's because most people know I don't lie to. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, I know a lot of people out that watch the show and stuff may not know how I act behind the scenes, but I'm almost blunt to a point of I can hurt your feelings. I'm so honest. I mean, just how I feel about certain situations. I am who I am, y'all. But saying that, I won't go around and talk shit about you. I'll come say it to your face. And that goes with Ham and Radix all the way down to damn a host to somebody, you know, I'll try to say it to your face. Now, there is occasions where I'm human, where things will bother me and I'll try to confide in someone. But in my experience, those people will stab you in the back damn too. Okay. So I did this little thing where I went and told these hosts that I've known for a long time. It's like, I'm going to show you how easy it is. You know, I didn't say this. I was like, it's people manipulate. I said, okay. And I even set it up like that. So for example, okay, I had to go to the FBI training, and I was employed by the CIA because I spoke this dialect in India, right? And they didn't have anyone that spoke this certain dialect. I picked it up because I had a family member that used to do, you know, that was married into a person that actually spoke this small village's dialect. So I was employed by them, sent overseas for a short period of time. And I gained some experience there of how to figure out when people try to manipulate you. Then I said, and do you believe any part of that story? And on the other end of the phone, it's kind of got silence. I was like, well, yeah, I guess. I was like, I lie. Everything I just said to you is a big fat lie. Yeah, it works here in this cyber world. That's how it works. People can tell you whatever the hell they think you want. They not listen. You know what? I'm actually Marilyn Monroe, and I came back in another, you know what I mean? I was hidden out in some bunker somewhere for 30 years. It's me. Happy birthday to you. Bullshit. Anybody can tell you anything in here. So don't believe them unless they show you evidence.
Right. Yep.
And by the way, that is a picture of me. It's funny to see me on camera, but I don't go live a lot because that's a whole nother box I could open up for you of the craziest messages I got after that shit. I go live whenever in the early PSB days, like with Gran Torino and all of us first turned our cameras on. The amount of DMs I got, well, it was like some weird shit, okay? And I appreciate people and their compliments and stuff like that. And that was nice. But I mean, some of the weird shit. You know,
oh,
I'm
my
like,
goodness.
No, look, there are people out there that have foot fetishes. I'm not trying to be your friend. I mean, I'm sorry. I ain't trying to be a bitch, but you know. No, thank you. I mean, well, the hell y'all want to see some? Go check out Ask episode. You want to see? I ain't showing you my tape.
That might have to be a topic for one of your features.
You know, I don't blame men nowadays when we've gone so damn crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's what I got in that one rant with you with Daddy bragging about that one day where You got a bunch of 4 women walking around the world. I mean, you're rating them from 1 to 10, and they would rate a 4 on the scale. And they've been told by society, girl, you deserve a 10. Where's your Brad Pitt? You're like, bitch, have you looked in the mirror? You look like Whoopi Goldberg in The Color Purple. You're not going to marry George Clooney. I hate to tell you the truth. And that's what we've got in today's society. You think that would be obvious, but apparently it's not.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my goodness.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just like, stay in your lane. But we have a society that tells people that, I don't know what the hell's going on. We have a society that's telling women that they deserve these men. Get down on your knees, men, get down on your knees, shut up, don't say a word, because we don't need to hear your mansplaining. All you need to worry about is going out, working your ass off. They want what they call a high value man. So that means you need to make 6 figures, which is like 10% of the population overall in all races, while they sit on their ass and figure out how to paint their toenails a different color. They don't have to do shit, but you need to, sit down, shut up, and make the money. We'll support them on OnlyFans. Take the pic. Thanks, Charmaine. She's like to crack me up. Listen, I am who I am. I am who I am. I don't make apologies. I used to back in the beginning. I was probably, no, I wasn't probably, I was a different person. I used to have a lot more of like my sweeter side where I would take a lot of shit off people. I've kind of just had my fucking feel. I've had my feel of it because I've talked to Sunny about this behind the scenes because she's a nice person. She just wants to help. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, in this arena, people will shit all over you.
Yep.
And it just is. It is.
And you don't know them. They could be anybody.
And again, I don't put anybody on blast, so I'm going to speak in general terms. People will present themselves one way. Again, look at it as people can be a bunch of actors. Okay, the same actors you watch in a movie that act a certain part out may be nothing like that in their real life. Mm-hmm. You have to understand that this place can come with that too. So people that you see that act like the nicest, kindest, most helpful people in the world, behind the scenes can be the biggest pieces of shit. Mm-hmm. That's true. I'm telling you right now, that's true.
Well, it's weird. It's like fame and fortune, what it does to, or maybe not fame and fortune, but attention, or, people who go viral sometimes, or, become very big influencers. Well, look at Fauci. Fauci is trying to use them. There's that private email or whatever about how they want to target influencers to help with the V status. They already are. They're running
that shit all over. Listen, you can't look at YouTube anymore without looking to the top right, taking your gay poll. How gay are you? You got that shit going on. On top of that, yes, they're paying Instagram people to do these little dance moves with their Band-Aid on their arm. It is what it is. That's why this shit's toxic for young kids.
Right.
It's
and you can,
toxic.
I've heard of people that, they thought they could trust a person. And then as the person gained more momentum on YouTube and got more I'm not even talking about this arena. I'm talking about they do more products or have more commercials and things like that. As they gain momentum and popularity, they change because suddenly they're in risk of losing, viewers or clicks or money or whatever it is that, they're after.
Yeah.
Sad.
I think greed can change anyone for sure. And that's why I'm so apprehensive all the time about even asking for donations. Now, am I freaking human? Yeah, I'm human. So when I know I've been running this damn channel for 7 months and I go look at my foxhole and we ran 4 hours worth of content and I've got 400 gold pills for it, and I can go look at somebody that started 3 weeks ago and they've got 60,000. It's a punch in the gut. I mean, it is. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. It's really bothered me this last month because this last year has been so shitty. When YouTube demonetizes, y'all love them or hate them. It killed, it's hard to do a channel for 2 years and the last year will be 10 times worse than the first year. And it's been like that. And I don't want to come off like some jealous asshole either. I don't want to be like, well, I can't believe they're doing so good. I'm doing so shitty. I don't want to come off like that.
No, but there's
I
that
don't.
righteous part though too, that there's a lot of truth telling on YouTube and they couldn't handle it. And they went after people because they didn't like their point of view and to shut them down. And so there is a righteous anger about that. Like, you're not who you say you are, YouTube.
Well, that's what DM'd or messaged Susan Wojcicki today. You're freaking hilarious. He says, sorry about the DM stuff.
Cute, you're so naughty.
Cute is not one of them. He's being funny. He's been around a long time. My helicopter guy, whenever Kev Chano was, did their show, they always gave him shit about falling. I always gave him shit about falling out of the helicopter. Because if you remember in that morning show, they always did the helicopter noise.
Yeah.
When they would come in, I was like, "Hey, kids, that fell out." So I go way back. So it's like this funny balance that I try to maintain and not try to let my the human part of me that does see it and it bothers me, and then I try to be honest with myself and be grateful for what I do have. I mean, look, we average, 2,000-3,000 views or something, and I know people that have been on damn YouTube or whatever for 3 or 4 years and don't have that kind of viewership. I'm grateful for that. I am. I'm very grateful for that. So I try not to let that, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? We do the geopolitical, I do Breaking's really good at finance. You make people laugh and bring up really interesting storylines. Pixels and 412 will make people, they do really good debates. I like when they actually debate stuff. I don't know what you get from my country bunking ass, but it is what it is. Maybe that's what people like about it. Is what it is with me. Mm-hmm. But so I don't know. Like at some point you get like, I'm not going to put on my dance shoes and clown around for nobody. Right. People would give me the thing, well, turn on your camera, so people would then donate to you and blah, blah, blah. Listen, I'm not a whore. You know what I mean? Fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I don't want to have to resort to doing shit like that. It just feels trashy.
Well, I think you have a lot of viewers who are sold on you because you are Southern. And you have that hospitality thing about you and you're nice, but you also tell it like it is and you're bold.
Yeah, probably people nowadays would refer to me as too much as nice. Behind the scenes, I'm a loyal person. I try to be loyal, which means that, even people that I have tried to have their back, this is where the shit gets skewed, y'all. This virtual world is not like the fucking real world. Okay, it's not. So like and I've had to learn that the hard way. So like when I've had people in my life, I'm talking about people that would tell me, love you, Soko, every time they hang up the phone. And then one thing happened and then they fucking basically abandon your ass and then go drag you face first across sandpaper. And I've sit over here and sat on my hands and not said anything. I've had that shit happen to me multiple times. And, I try to think, my grandmother always said, if they're a pig, then don't go get down and play in the mud with them, basically. Pigs play in the mud, don't get down in the mud with them. All right. But then there does become a point when you try to make that decision. Is this because I'm not saying anything, is that the narrative that people are believing? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, right. I do understand that.
Yeah, so
trying to set the record straight versus trying to get involved in causing it to go like round and round and round.
Yeah. So, but see, my first instinct, because of how I am, is to call some out here in the real world, is to say something to them face to face and call them out because we're in the real world, right? Mm-hmm. So, but in the virtual world, some people will have a channel or have a Discord server or have a whatever, build little groups up, and then they'll go tell this massive group of people some bullshit. And I'm not going to track every one of those people down.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to I'm just not going to do it. If people will not come to you and ask you to your face if they've heard something. That's another big deal. Because people could come ask me anything they wanted to that they heard. And more than likely, I'm probably going to have evidence to prove that whatever they've heard is bullshit. Honestly,
Right.
I just don't air it. I don't call names out. And listen, there was a point in time, probably, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, that there was a fairly big content creator that was doing some pretty shitty stuff. And I was told by several other content creators, oh, go out there and, say your piece and, let everybody know what they're doing. And, so I got the support of the community, but I still didn't do it. And I didn't do it because it's like, why am I the one to do it? All y'all know what's going on. None of y'all want to come say anything about it. Whatever.
Right. There
So
is
I just do what it is.
sometimes like a herd or wanting to fit in. We used to tell my son that, you need to, like stand up to peer pressure, because the thing is you think that you're going to get out of high school or school and peer pressure is going to disappear, and it's not, because adults are just as bad as children with peer pressure. And it's different, but it's still the same thing. They still, keeping up with the Joneses or the Smiths or whatever.
Well, it's a different world back here. Like it is. And like, even I could drag out the difference between like the men and the women shit. And see, I've even kind of bit my tongue on that kind of stuff, because it is there, guys. It is. I could lie to you and say it's not, but that's a lie. It's a lie. I have had people say things to me that I know they would never say to a man. I've had men say things to me I know they would never say to another man. Mm-hmm. Period. Believe it or not, I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm like, fucking really? I know, So usually I call that shit out. So that pisses somebody off. Right. So, then I'm a bitch. And I'm like, you wouldn't say that about a dude, but it is what it is. I'm not going to take any shit anymore. I'm not going to take someone that treats me like I'm their secretary, or like I'm their battering ram, or like I'm their fucking shoulder to cry on. And then the next week they're somewhere talking shit about. Like, I'm like, what? So that's why I come do what I got to do. Guys, anybody ever has any questions, Tracy out there always like slings out our link. We have a P.O. box. I have an email address. Ask me. That's all I ask. You guys see, if you've heard something you want to know about me, ask my ass. I'll tell you the truth. I'm not perfect. I'll tell you if I've screwed up. Mm-hmm. But that's a very crazy thing in this world. It's crazy. It's a very crazy thing. And so I just do what I got to do. I do a shit ton of research I never even put out, because I don't know if everybody really even wants to hear it. Like, I've done a lot of research into the darker side of stuff, and I've got a lot of stuff pulled. But, that's the kind of stuff, like, it's like, do I want to say I don't want to do this stuff for free? I'm not doing this shit for free. I'm not going to go subject myself to all that stuff again and put it out here for people and do all that stuff and then look down and there'll be 50 fuck dope pills in Foxhole. I mean, it just, and I don't, that can sound however you guys want it to sound, but it is, I'm telling you right now, because that shit messes with your head. Mm-hmm. Like, looking at the deeper underbelly of the evil shit they do. Mm-hmm. The stuff I show is, at the tip of the iceberg. The stuff you got to subject yourself to in order to find it, that's another story. That's probably had another huge effect on me, watching what these people do to kids. Mm-hmm. It makes me have little sympathy. That's why, again, I'm not the person people come to. And I warn people, Sonny, I've said this to you. I'm probably not the person you want to come to and cry on the shoulder of, because you've had a bad day. Right. Because I've seen so many kids have a short life.
But I also like to talk to you because you just tell it to me straight. And, I'd rather deal with somebody who's straight than tells you a bunch of stuff. And then, you find out that's not the truth, or that's not how they really feel. I'd rather, take a smackdown than have things, sugar coated to the point where you don't believe, you believe it. And then you find out, different, or that person had no intention of what what they said or anything.
Well, again, to me, I can count on one hand. One hand. I've been in here for it'll be 4 years, the end of January of 2022, and just in this like virtual world, doing what I've done in the back, started doing what I did in the background. I mean, it started out me being on air for 12 hours a day, so that's in the early days.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Again, that the lessons that I have had to learn and take from this, I'm telling you, all of you, and I'm being flat out honest with you. Number one, yes, some people are actors. That's the truth. Some people that you see one side of, maybe not that way behind the scenes. That's the truth. And I'm not, whoever you're thinking it is, it's probably not them. Let me go and say that too. Because I don't want to hurt anybody. That's not my intentions ever, is to hurt anyone. And two, you will get your ass hurt if you think being good to people is usually going to amount to shit in the virtual world. Mm-hmm. You will get yourself hurt. The last friend I've made, like person I will tell stuff to that I believe it will stay, in the last year and a half, almost 2 years in October, is breaking. And mm-hmm. that has been a friendship I've had now for almost 2 years. And I tried to do it with someone about a year ago. The first time I actually told them anything that really mattered to me, I got into the death of my mother and what kind of impact that had on my life. That was the last conversation I had with them. I'm not making that shit up.
That sucks.
So yeah. But so you just learn to build another wall. You put up walls. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, stabbed me right in the back. It was, and I still to this day I know stuff about that person that they asked me never to say that I've never said, because I don't work that way. I'm not vindictive. So if they do something to hurt me, that's their choice. They can answer to God for that. But if they told me something in confidence and asked me not to share it, I'm not going to betray that trust because they turned out to be an asshole. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. And I'm telling you, y'all, people can believe it or not, it is what it is. But listen, I've rambled. Listen, I got my shit back up. We got the damn Frank speech going on, and I'm talking about crazy people sending me tweets.
Well, at least you got it out a little bit too, because something is going on with your system and everything. It was working fine before, and it sucks when something's messing with you and you don't exactly know what it is, whether it's your internet or your setup or malware or virus or something else. So
yeah, see, but then again, so I will say this in closing. I don't know if most of you know, I've had 3 pretty major surgeries in my early 30s. So I know what it means to not be able to do stuff. I know what it means to take for granted the small things in life, even if it was for, say, just weeks and not my lifetime. Now, there are things I will deal with for the rest of my life in conjunction with those. But things like that, I think, sometimes are necessary in order for you to appreciate the smaller things in life, to be grateful for the things you do have, and not always try and focus on the things you don't. And 2, it also makes complaining seem trivial. It's like me coming out here and telling a bunch of people that are never going to come to my funeral all my shit I've dealt with in my life. What is that going to do?
Sometimes it does help people because they think they're alone, and especially in this time where people are isolated and are having so many things happen to them that are beyond their control. Sometimes it does encourage people. Sometimes it does help them.
No, an stethoscope, DLive is different than Google. It actually, most of the how you get your subscription is actually you pay or get lemons, but most of it does go to the contributors. It really is. And thanks, Ash. You do a great job. But yeah, most of the lemons and like the subscriptions they're really good at DLive. That's why I get people have their issues with DLive. Oh no, laughs out loud. I already follow. Do you know? I don't know myself. Yeah, no, the subscriptions are basically like lemons. Most of it does go to us.
How much are the pills then on like foxhole. How much are like is a pill? Is that
They're
the
really, I
smallest?
mean, they're seriously cheap. Hang on, I'll show you. For the people that don't know, hang on, let me pull up my entire Foxhole. You always use Foxhole because it's an app. It's usually easier for you to stream. But yeah, yeah.
I'm not hearing you much, Soko.
Hang on, I'm going to show you.
Okay.
See, and this is what I mean by I'll show you behind the scene. And I'm like, like I'm not making this shit up. What would I benefit from it? Okay, I'll show you. Like here, like today, all this we've got 1,000 gold pills, and this is my whole entire accumulation of gold pills. That's since we started. That's 50,000 gold pills in 7 months. 7 months. There's people that make that in one show. Again, see, this is I feel like I'm complaining, but that's a gut punch. It just is. But you go to here, you buy gold pills through here, and then this is like the 100 go pills is what, $1.62, 300 or 371, 700 or 794.
Is that what it like ends up like for the people that are getting them then too? The
yeah, Foxhole's another really good one that they don't, they're very fair. I can't remember how much now. Google, they'll take like 30%. So, I mean, it's not horribly bad. An agent will usually take 30%. Like if you have like these big influencers will have an agent, they usually take 30%. But then you go there, and I mean, that's how you do that.
Okay.
Peeled. That's pretty cool. I mean, and again, yeah, you try to support Peeled because, like, if I do ever share that documentary, and see, and then this is how I pop out chat. This little thing. Thanks. Shout out to Methods, by the way. Tell me how to do this shit. But we can pop that out and then I shrink it down. But so it's a Foxhole is where you can actually like show that they're not going to silence you. They're not going to deplatform you. And like I want to get back really quick to D-Live really fast. Because I understand people's complaints with it, especially if they've been given the X tag. But I always encourage those people to reach out to them and message them because they've always responded to me well.
And the thing is, too, is like you get paid from, like you make something or you can make some kind of credit, at least on Foxhole, D-Live, and even like Trovo, I think. But like Rumble, you have to pay for if you want to do lives or upload. I'm not sure about the uploading, but doing lives, so there are some where you actually make a little bit of credit from people that enjoy your shows versus you having to pay out to be on their platform.
Yeah, well, it's a highly competitive world out there too. So that's why I'm also very cautious about it. I've hinted around about it for a couple of few weeks, I'd say about a month. And I will say, like, Pinata is trying to help. And so is Homesteader. Like when they don't do a show with 412, they'll come over here. They've come over here and try to do stuff to help the channel. And so I have people that are really, really good to me and that very supportive of me. Like 412, trust me, he needs another show like a hole in his head, okay? But the minute I asked him to come over and do a show, he said yes. And he told me that if it was anybody else, I probably would have done it. But me and 412 go way back. Way back in the beginning days. And I hope, I've always had his back, and I think he's always had mine. So those are those very rare relationships that I have found in here. They're hard, they're far and few between, but 412 is one of them. Oh yeah, Ash, you can do a subscription, I promise you. They're on D-Live, it's good. I mean, anything's helpful. But
I think Subscribestar is like a PayPal or something, isn't it? Their ask is asking.
Yeah.
Don't do Subscribestar ?
Yeah, like see it. I think it's because I'm small. Hey, up there's fourth to my good Lord Sarthaniel. I'm Sword. Okay, hello Sword. I think it's because I've stayed so small. Like we still have PayPal. I still have my Patreon. It's the truth drops out our link tree. It's all in there. Or that tipping jar goes through Stream Elements, which basically goes straight to PayPal. And then Our Patreon is still active. I have 6 Patreons that they've been with me since basically the very freaking beginning. So shout out to them. Shout out to Erin. 80s Erin is one of them. She's been a Patreon with forever and supported us. And so I think it is because the channel is fairly small, and it's about to storm here, and so I don't think they think we're very high on the radar. But and again, like D Live has been good to me. Like when they came and gave the mature tag, the chat kind of started to say something. I was like, no, listen, we are mature content. I just appreciate them not being YouTube and demonetizing me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I didn't let people go drag them in my chat room. And then my chat room understood. They're like, yeah, we get it. You're right. They're cool about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm not, again, I know people have their certain, experiences, but with D Live, they verified me, a month ago, and it is what it is, which I appreciate because it fills up the chest quicker, which I can give it out faster. But, hey, I do some script.
All right, we're buffering again, Soko, and I can't hear you. Well, I think that's probably it, folks. I think we're going to say goodbye. Thanks for hanging out with us. And
we got a smoke in here now.
You sound like frog in your throat. Like
on my shithole stuff. But
okay,
no,
there it worked.
That was a big thunder crash you heard. Kaboom!
Oh.
It's in the south. I'm in Middle Tennessee. You can look it up. It's storming here.
I can hardly hear you, Soko.
Yeah. Do what? Well, listen, the bad part is I had my back door open, so apparently my lady ass kicking Shih Tzu could go outside, and he kind of come in like the world is ending, and then I heard my back door go what bam, and I was like, oh shit! So I got there, the wind had caught my back door and banged it against
Poor
my back.
little Elfie's like,
yeah, I was just like, come on, he's tired. Come on, son, he's getting old. Come on, son, come on. Thanks, ass stethoscope. Come on, he's missed. That's our first subscriber in a long time. Because I'm great. Come on, son. He's old. He don't want something. Come on. Ugh. He hates storms like most dogs. By the way, if you have a dog that's very scared of storms, wrap him up like a burrito in a blanket. Usually it calms them down, the pressure. Just like a thunder blanket for broke folk.
Well, I think are we buffering again? I don't know. I should get going. Soko, I think we are buff. Nope. I refreshed on D Live. We're okay.
Yeah. But all right, well, we got to go. We got to thanks, ass wiper, ass sniffer, ass looker, ass stethoscope from Michigan.